unbelievable experience. You know, there were so many people, and there was so much love there. It was the most peaceful thing that I've ever attended.
Home again. Busloads of protesters returned to Toronto after an historic march on Washington. Tonight, they share experiences they describe as profound and say their work isn't done yet.
U.S. President Donald Trump using Twitter today to gloat about the TV audience numbers for his inauguration on Friday, while also commenting on the Women's March in Washington and other cities against him yesterday.
Not my president!
Millions turned out across America for the march protesting his presidency, earning this response from Trump. Watched protest yesterday, but was under the impression that we just had an election. Why didn't these people vote? Not long after his Twitter feed takes a more diplomatic tone. Peaceful protests are a hallmark of our democracy. Even if I don't always agree, I recognize the rights of people to express their views. Earlier today, Nicole Martin spoke to a group of Toronto women about why they made the trip to Washington to take a stand against Donald Trump.
It was exciting, euphoric. You knew you were part of history.
A long trip back to Toronto. Busloads of protesters are home after an historic march on Washington. I'm here at Union Station, where they say the incredible display of solidarity was one of the most profound experiences they've ever had.
There was this beautiful anger, and you know, you don't have to be violent to make a difference.
Lissette Wright was one of the protesters at the Women's March on Washington. Just one day after Donald Trump was officially sworn in as the new U.S. president, demonstrators clogged the streets of the Capitol to send him a message.
It's a symbol of our power, and it's just another way of communicating that we're stronger together.
We're very lucky here in Canada, and it's because other people have showed up when it was important. With the number of women being abused and reporting sexual assault at 1 in 4, I'm scared that the rhetoric of the past election will increase those numbers.
We were part of something that will be a part of history and a part of our histories, and you know, that was wonderful to be able to represent the women and the girls that could not come down, that were able to still come march here in Toronto and all over Canada, all over the world, really.
Members of Democrats Abroad, a group of Americans living in Toronto, took the 14-hour bus trip to Washington. They say inspiring change in their own country from abroad is what they're all about.
I'm so proud to be a part of. A lot of our members are older and were in the women's movement in the 70s, and now I get to do it, and they get to do it again.
The popular vote and more will come out, and in 2017 we'll get some new members. 2018 it's going to be during the midterms elections. It's going to be a large impact. We have to work really hard, and then in 2020 then we'll elect a new president.
All those who left armed with colorful posters and pink hats say they came home with a new sense of strength, solidarity, and empowerment.
We were packed shoulder to shoulder, and yet there were no arrests the entire day because everyone was just there for a common purpose.
It was absolutely fabulous. It didn't matter whether you were a woman, a child, a man. It was about everyone getting together. It was about solidarity and having common beliefs, having the same core values.
An estimated 1 million people from around 70 countries took part in women's marches yesterday. At Union Station, Nicole Martin, City News.